it's Rory from Own Home Loans, and thanks so much for your interest in this video. And I was really prompted by my 19-year-old son who came up to me and said, "Dad, I need to buy a new laptop. He's at uni, he's got a part-time job. I know that you don't like those buy now, pay later schemes or facilities," which is so true. I don't like them at all. But he said, look, Apple have got a deal where you can pay it off. Buy the laptop now, get it, and pay it off over time. And it sort of got me thinking about, is that really good debt or is it bad debt? And what I asked was, look, how long is it going to take to pay it off? And he said, well, 16 weeks. And a far better way, I think, to do it is not get the debt, save up for 16 weeks and buy it. Now, to a 19-year-old, that sounds pretty boring and not the right thing to do, but I think it's the right advice. I think, if you're looking at a personal item, they really should be saved up for instead of getting into debt for, because the best laid plans can come unstuck and small debts can get you into a lot of issues. So my view on this is that, if you can save up for something, you really, really should. And if you can't save up for it, well, probably you're not going to be able to afford the debts on the back end. So a caveat to all this, that is, if you can't save at the rate that product is going up in price, then getting debt is probably a good thing. And obviously, the thing that is in that category is housing. It's so hard. If you're trying to buy a property, even a cheap property in Australia is hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, if you're trying to save that sort of money, it's going to take a long, long time. And by the time you've saved up what you thought was enough to buy it, that property is even more expensive now and you just can't catch up. So for that, you really need to get debt if you want to buy a house generally, instead of saving up for it. So that's an absolute caveat on that. But not many things fall into that category. Not many things that you're going to buy are going to go up in value that much that you can't save up for them if you have the ability to pay the debt at the back end. So that's a really important thing, I think, to think of when you're saying, okay, should I go into debt for this car or this computer or whatever it is on a personal level. Now, the other thing that people talk about, good debt, bad debt, is around consumer debt. So getting debt for things for yourself versus investment debt or business debt. So this is quite different. If you are getting debt in a business or investment debt, and that debt is going to get you in a better position over the long run, then there is an argument to get that debt. So in a business sense, if you're going to get some debt to invest in your business and you're going to borrow $100,000, but over the journey, that $100,000 is going to make you much more than that $100,000 plus the interest that is applied to that debt, then there's an argument to sit down with your accountant and say, okay, is this the right thing for my business? The other thing is buying an investment property. So if you're going to buy an investment property and you've got an interest rate that is covered by the rental coming in, then okay, there's an argument that okay, we're going to get the rental income in, the property is going to go up in value. So again, over the long run, to gear up for that asset is a good thing. But there's absolutely so much nuance in it. What if your rental repayments don't cover your interest payments on that asset? Then you've got to think, well, is negative gearing the right thing, the right strategy for me? If you speak to your accountant and again you think it is because you've got the income and the tax benefits that come with negative gearing, then again that might be a great thing for you to do. But not all debts are the same, not all assets are the same. So it's so particular and so important that you look at your own personal circumstance and just don't have these broad categories of saying good debt versus bad debt. There is so much nuance, and it is so important to have a look at your full financial situation and work out is, rather than saying good debt, bad debt, is buying this product, this asset on finance going to put you in a better financial position or not? And if it's hard to see how that's going to happen, then it may not be the right thing to do. But if the maths works out that it's going to put you in a better financial position, then there's a good argument to say get the debt, but just manage it properly. Do all the right things with that debt to make sure that you're on top of it and you've got some buffers in place to make sure that you're going to be comfortable paying off that debt, getting that asset, paying that asset down over time and reaping the benefits. But it's certainly a long-term journey. Love to chat with you more about it. Love to hear your feedback on it. There's a lot more to this topic that we can discuss. If it's tweaked a couple of questions, please love to hear them. Thank you so much, Rory from Own Home Loans.